Hey y'all, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and check out all of my other videos. But today's video is going to be a wedding planning video, and we are going to be talking about ways to stay organized while planning your wedding. Now that I'm finished planning and Corey and I are married, I'm so excited to get more wedding planning content out to y'all. Our wedding planning process was fairly easy, breezy, stress-free, very minimal. And I want to pass on to you guys the things that I think helped us in an easy and minimal stress planning process. So today I'm going to be walking you guys through the resources that I use to help keep us organized. And those resources were multi-pocket folders, my handy dandy planner, Google Drive, and Zola. So we're going to be walking through those things, and I'm going to be flipping you guys around and taking you on my computer and showing you kind of, what I used. I am very much so a type A personality at heart. I knew that I wanted to do most of the planning as far as our wedding planner, and I'll probably make a whole other separate video on how to decide if you should, well, not if you should have a wedding planner. I think everyone should have a wedding planner, but at what capacity you should have a wedding planner, whether that should be partial or full planning. We basically had partial planning throughout the process, and then we had day of coronation. Um, so yeah, I love to plan. I love my list. I love organizing. I take my planner and my to-do list everywhere. So even though planning comes naturally to me, if it doesn't come naturally to you, I still hope that you watch this video and that you get something out of it, because if you're not, a type A planner type person, you could definitely show this to your wedding planner or what have you, or to whoever's helping you stay organized and accountable while planning your wedding. Um, so yeah, you guys, that is pretty much everything that I have to say for the intro. So let's get into the video. We are going to start with multi-pocket folders and my planner. So I'm just going to switch you guys around and we'll get into it. Okay, y'all, so I have my planner here. As you can see, it is very much so loved and utilized. This was great for tracking my appointments, especially in the beginning. We had a non-inclusive wedding. I'll probably make a video on non-inclusive versus inclusive as well. That basically means that we found an empty venue and we had to fill it with, all of our vendors. There were no recommended vendors that came with the venue. So in the very beginning of our wedding planning process back in August of 2020, I had a lot of consultation phone calls, Zoom calls, FaceTime calls with, vendors to, just chat with them, have consultation calls to see if they're a good fit, what their prices are. So my planner was very helpful in just scribbling down those appointments and keeping track. I really dove in with finding our vendors because I wanted to do that first. I didn't want to be 6 months into planning our wedding and still looking for a caterer or a DJ or what have you. So I found all of our vendors. I think we had about 8 vendors, and I found them all within a matter of 2 weeks. So that was very stressful. But I wanted to get it done because I heard so many horror stories of brides, being 6 months or less away from their wedding and still, needing a caterer or a makeup artist or a DJ or what have you. So I wanted to get all of that out of the way first. I basically found all of our vendors before we found a venue. So it was very helpful to kind of scribble down all of those appointments and those calls. Having a planner was also very helpful when, deadlines were approaching, when I had to meet with the decorator to, finalize the decor, or if I had a meeting with, the wedding planner, or if I needed to meet some deadlines with the photographer, or when we had our engagement shoots, all that kind of stuff. It's just helpful to write stuff down. I'm very much so a paper and a writing type person. You could also do this in like your Google or Apple Calendar or what have you, but I like to open up my planner and see things written down, and I like to be able to cross things off as they get done. As you can see, that's just the type of person that I am. So my planner was very helpful for those types of things, even writing down like payment deadlines, all that kind of stuff. So if you are already a planner type person, you will definitely utilize it while planning your wedding. And if you're not, hopefully you're motivated to start using a planner because it's just very helpful and very satisfying. So now on to multi-pocket folders. I actually got a few of these last summer because fall of 2020, I was supposed to start my teaching career as a kindergarten teacher, but I decided to put that on the back burner because of the pandemic. I did not want my first year of teaching to be in a pandemic. So I kind of just had these multi-pocket folders laying around. I actually have one over here that I use for Queen's Corner Consulting to organize paperwork and files for my pageant coaching clients. So when we started planning our wedding, I went back and forth a lot on whether to get like a fancy, customized, monogrammed wedding planner, like Erin Condren or something like that. But I actually decided to just use what I already had, and it ended up working out perfectly. And it was green, which matched our wedding colors. Our wedding colors were green, white, and gold. As you can see, I still have my wedding nails. So I love these because they're multiple flaps and there are pockets on both sides. There are like 7 in here. As you can see, I didn't even really use all of them up. And it was just, a great way to organize. It's bendable, so I could like throw it in my purse and, nothing got damaged. But this is basically how I organized all of our paperwork for our wedding. Like I said, I like to have hard copies of stuff. My dad is a business owner and he always taught me to get everything in writing. I do keep digital and hard copies of things, but for me, the hard copy is a preference and it's just more important to me. So this is basically how I organized all of our paperwork. So I have our contracts here. So our venue, our DJ, our wedding planner, our decorator, our photographer, our makeup artist, our florist, all of the contracts that had to do with our wedding I put here. Here I put our initial deposit receipts. And I will talk about this when I make like a how much do weddings actually cost video, but my parents paid for me and Corey's wedding. We were still very blessed. And basically what my parents did is they paid the deposit and then we just made sure that the final balance was paid off like a month before the wedding. We didn't do like payment plans or anything like that. My parents just preferred to pay like everything at one time. So all of our initial deposits were here. Now, if you are confused about what a deposit is, as far as weddings go, or anything really, your deposit holds your date, it holds your spot. So from what we experienced while planning our wedding, deposits were usually 50% of the total cost. So we kept all of our deposit receipts here. And then on this side, we had the final payments, the receipts for the final payments. And it was also helpful having a hard copy because in our experience, we pretty much paid majority of our vendors through online invoice with, the deposit, and then the final balance we could pay like Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, what have you. So we were paying multiple people through multiple outlets. So of course we could always go back through our phone and look it up. And my parents basically would like send me the money to pay the vendor. So we were paying, money was coming from my parents to me, and for me it was going out through like Venmo or Cash App or Zelle or whatever. So even though we could go back digitally in our phone, having a hard copy just made it easier because, I highlighted the label. You can see that it was through Cash App or what have you. So we don't play about our money. We don't like to be played about money. So it was just easy to have, big, plain writing copies of who was paid, how much they were paid, and how they were paid versus having to, go back and scroll through the phone. So that was that. Final payments over here. And this flap, I actually kept copies for my wedding planner. So all of this paperwork, I went to UPS to print out, and every time I printed something, I made double. So our wedding planner could also have a copy of it. God forbid I lost this folder or something, and someone tried to try us and be like, oh, we didn't get paid. I can go to my wedding planner and be like, pull out the copy. So yeah, so that was that. Luckily, all of our vendors were amazing and we didn't have any of those issues. But you always want to be prepared because, people don't play about their money. So I actually used this flap to keep copies of everything for my wedding planner. And when we would have our monthly meetings or whatever, I would just, give her the copies. So this flap was for other receipts. The only other receipt here was the receipt for my wedding dress, which I really, really am glad that I kept. I think I will keep all of this and scrapbook it away. When we started planning our wedding, my mom pulled out her album and her wedding scrapbook, and she showed me everything, every receipt. My parents got married in '94, and they completely cash flowed their wedding. And by the grace of God, they were able to cash flow me and Corey's wedding as well. And it was just so interesting to see everything that they paid for and how much everything costs, especially the difference in prices between '94 and 2021. So I think I will keep all of this just to be able to like show our kids one day. And yeah, I think the coolest thing was I only paid $238.50 for my dress. I got a really good deal on my dress, and I think my mom may have paid like $125 for her wedding dress. So some things change, some things don't. But yeah, I think that I will be keeping all of this and scrapbook it away because I really love looking back at my mom's wedding scrapbook. And as you guys can see, there are still plenty of flaps in here that I did not use. So if you want to organize things like a different way, you can. Like if you want to put like color swatches or something in here. We did not have a bridal party, but this would be great to organize like your bridal party, like everyone's like sizes or just their information, contact information, all that kind of stuff, like the dates that you're meeting to try on dresses or what have you. There's still a lot of room in these multi-pocket folders to organize however you would like. So I really loved this. I didn't have a desire to get a fancier wedding planning book. This was perfect. I took it everywhere. The folder held up very, very well. And now I can reuse it once I scrapbook all of the stuff away. So now let's move on to the computer, and I will talk to you guys a little bit about Google Drive and Zola. Okay, so I believe we are recording now. So here is my Google Drive. So the third way that I kept organized was I made a wedding folder right here. I made it green to match our wedding aesthetic. So I had a few more things in here. I had a video of our venue, and I also had a video of the kitchen at the venue for our caterer to send to him because we had a prep kitchen and not a cooking kitchen, and that was important information for him to know. So everything that had to do with the wedding, I kept in here. Here was the vision board, the aesthetic board from our decorator. I had the price list from our photographer and our makeup artist. Those are things that I kept digital copies of because I didn't feel the need to have a hard copy. And we had our original guest list, the draft here, but I switched that over to Zola, which I will show y'all after this. Here I had our wedding budget, which I'll make a separate video on. And in here I kept track of payment deadlines, the budget breakdown between my parents, my husband, me, and my mother-in-law. So everything I kept track of. and I just tallied up our total and everything last week. So that was that. Um, what else? I had our vendor schedule and like all of their information in a document. So yeah, I made an email or I emailed this document out to, well, I sent it to the wedding planner to send out to the vendors. And I made like a schedule for the day of the run of show, all of that stuff. I had in here. So that was our wedding planning Google Drive. And I made this folder in Google Drive and I also shared it with the wedding planner, my mom and my mother-in-law and my fiance. So we all had access to it where we could see everything that was going on when things got added. Our initial draft of our guest list was in here. I'll probably make a separate video on how to get started on your guest list. So when we first made our guest list, it was an Excel sheet in here and we had it organized between bride and groom, family, friends, and friends. So our moms could just go in and plug everybody in, make sure that we didn't forget anyone, and stuff like that. So that was that. That's the Google Drive. So now going over to Zola. Zola is an amazing website. I highly recommend it. I heard the knot is good too, but I didn't even look at the knot because Zola was just so great. And I still have our website up. I probably need to delete it soon, but everything that you could possibly think of was here. My favorite features were the guest list. So once we had our guest list through Google Drive, the Excel sheet, we transferred it over to Zola. So we had all of our guests here. You can upload spreadsheets. You can track your RSVPs if you're having a destination wedding or whatever, or if people need to travel to a location, you can put your hotels in here and set up hotel room blocks. You can do your registry through here. We actually started a honeymoon fund, and you're able to like track your money that's gifted to you and link your bank account and transfer the money and all kinds of stuff. So, oh, excuse me. Zola was just great. We also did our wedding website here, and we did not do paper invitations. We did digital RSVPs. Let me see if I can find the link to, oh, preview website, here it is. Okay, so yeah, we did our wedding website through Zola, and this was actually a part that I was stressing out about because I'm not like digital in this way. But it was actually very easy, very user friendly, all kinds of stuff. I think our website turned out beautiful. We did have a RSVP header where our guests could come in RSVP on our website. We actually removed it once our RSVP date came because we wanted people to follow instructions. So I highly recommend that if you do a wedding website. We set our RSVP date for my birthday, February 10th. So once that day came, we took the RSVP part off of the website so people could follow instructions. So yeah, we had, the venue, our menu, everything on here, nearby hotels because all of my family is pretty much in Georgia, but Corey has family all over the place. So I listed 3 nearby hotels. And we had our honeymoon fund on here. Everything was just super duper easy and user friendly. And when people come to Zola, they can click on like find a couple, they can just search your last name or what have you. Zola even has like invitations. Although we didn't utilize that, one of my other favorite things was the advice column where it gives you a customized wedding checklist. I loved going to this because it just gave me peace of mind that I wasn't forgetting anything. Um, so you can see on this side, it gives you like a checklist and it organizes it by month based off of when you make your account. All the things that you have to do. Um, so the only thing left that we have is to get our stuff dry cleaned and preserved, our dress and our suit. Um, so yeah, so we waited. Um, we didn't get this done before our honeymoon, so I'm just gonna go do it when I go back to work. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much an overview of Zola. I absolutely loved it. Everything is in one place, literally, even if you don't use it. They help you find vendors, all kinds of stuff. I use the Knot for a few of our vendors. That'll be another separate video, but it it's great. It's really, really great. The email communication is great. They email you when people RSVP, when people donate to your registry or get you something off of your registry. I love Zola. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It was a great, great, great wedding resource. I was on Zola like every other day. Um, but yeah, you guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. I hope that, it gave you peace of mind while wedding planning. If you already are a planner, and if not, I hope it has motivated you to be a better planner and to challenge yourself a little bit. And yeah, I hope that your wedding planning process is lovely and that you have a lovely wedding day. And I will see y'all in the next video.